Let's go! Let's go! How we doing? Oh, let's get it. Previously on Kimba TV. And a lot of stuff that we kind of talked about, I think came in and kind of helped out, whether it was like the settlement or understanding the point of control or VWAP. They ended up cleaning that hoe, huh? They ended up cleaning it. You're in a settlement short. That's fucking beautiful. I mean, that's by the book shit. Shit like, the structure, time spent, understanding the levels that possibly could be resistance. I mean, even just understanding, like how the, point of control and the volume is shifting lower and lower, and, things like that's going to get cleaned at some point. So, yeah, a little bit of luck on our side and it's going our way, but we'll see. I'm thinking about hanging out with you guys for like 2 to 3 hours. We'll see if the Fibonacci time extension play can give us something in the next 2-3 hours. That would be fucking dope, because then we can take this long together if we're going to do it, right? I don't think it's going to be a good long, but hey, I mean, fuck it. 7.5 to 0.5 minimum. Maybe even shave 50% at 618. But see, like that's not even really worth your risk reward, You live by the fib, you die by the fib, and you're gonna stop loss behind 886, but you're gonna TP 50% at 618. That kind of doesn't make sense. Well, we'll see what it do, right? We'll see what it do. We'll see what the data looks like down there. But yeah, if we can take it live, that would be dope. But obviously, nothing is guaranteed. Market maker probably talking about, Young Soo, he back! Stop with the manipulation! Stop it! How we doing? All right. Everybody kind of know like what I'm looking at. So I'm looking at the small, obviously, like this is rotate, like pure and simple, right? Like bing, bong, right? And then it's a bearish retest of not just like our prime 99 level, but like a new point of control with more new data. Structure. Oh, so everything, it's just a continuation of everything that we talked about. But here we are at a semi-pivotal point, because you're looking at this level getting tapped for, the second time. We all know that the more times you tap a level, it gets weaker. And your Fibonacci time, even like, higher high, higher low, like opportunities are going to start to show up. So we'll find out. I don't know who's going to win. I have my own bets, but it's fair game to, bet on bulls or bears. We all know exactly, like bulls, you can't lose that. It's not even about this anymore. You can't lose that. So any sort of like structure shift on 5 minute on CME, I would actually be like, maybe we can take a little bit of a scalp long. But the bulls are really going to have to show it to me, because I don't think they got it. I don't think they got it. But we'll find out in together, and that's the coolest part, right? But that being said, yeah, I mean, how quickly that we're gonna have to, take that long if it is gonna be opportunistic. So we're gonna watch this, and we're gonna see all of this and see structure change, and it'll really be up to CME for me. So. Let's get a little, maybe we'll take a look at some altcoins in a little bit, but you guys know generally what I'm looking at for altcoins, right? It all kind of starts with ETH, BTC, and ETH. Sol, maybe XRP would be exceptions where I would, long or short, before waiting on ETH, but pretty much all the other ones, ETH BTC needs to look good, especially with the QE narrative still missing. But I think if you're longing altcoins, that you're front running March FOMC, right? Like on the higher, bigger picture. Zendi says Trumpini. What does that shit look like right now? I'm gonna get back in this, but this looks like ass. Straight ass, homie. I mean, that's going to get swept. So $10. I would take it at 10 or 14. Let's do this. I'm gonna do this. I'll just log that in for future. I mean, actually, I'm gonna mark this one too. Oh yeah, I'm gonna mark this too. Yeah. Let's see if there's any other good ones. That's Pixel fucking 914. Oh, it actually did sweep. We'll come back to sand. What about this? Okay, what about that? Damn! That is awfully close to our box. But that's a really good buying tail. But okay, this is still right above value area high. Okay. Wow. Wow, a lot of stuff got cleaned. A lot of these are gonna be, the ones that are below the box are gonna be the ones that I will probably be trying to get. Damn. How did some of these alerts not go off for me? What the fuck? I gotta pay attention to when I set as expiring. Damn. Imagine if we got fulfilled on this. If we went 1, 2, 3, 4, it's around 7.5. Average entry would be $22.82. Okay, okay. What is... Wait. Damn, okay. Okay. Ugh, why did it have to do this before... I've always wanted to long the SFP of this, but... The fuck? Yeah! Huh. Interesting. Let's light up to all of those altcoins, man. Marshy says, what's your thoughts on a long right now? Well, there would be a couple of ways to look at it, Marshiness. I like to look for structural edge. I like structural edge. So structure, what is it? What does it look like? Open interest. So if you were going to look for longs, you would want longs stopped out, bottom, shorts trapped. You would want divergence. Structural. Okay. So right now, all I'm seeing is like the more that you test a level, it gets weaker and weaker. So in terms of structural open interest, I don't think you have. Okay? Open interest wise, I mean, that's why I went to the hourly earlier, but you could say like from the high, you have 8.2 million in shorts, maybe but these guys, the first ones get stopped out, you can see it. So it's really more like this. So maybe 12 million, but that's from the top. So if you only include the bottom wick, 7.5 million, I don't know if that's enough. You would want like 60. Nope. And then do you have any sort of, absorption, exhaustion? So you can start to look right here. That's going to be what people are going to be looking for like a double bottom. So you already know that it's going to have a upward trending bottom oscillating data, right? So it's going to look like this. So a double bottom, bullish extra divergence. It's going to have an upward trending bottom. So do you have, or is it doing this? No. All right, and you could go to like different time frames and kind of look at it, but not really. Yeah, not really. Yeah, so I would not. I think for me, I would wait for structure change. I think this all kind of depends, brother, on how many scenarios you've seen of this. And it looks like this. So like and how many times you've seen it do this. And that would still be I think most of the time in this scenario with experience, you're gonna be better off, I think, net if you wait for structure change. So you're just a little bit patient. You wait to see if those bad highs right there get cleaned, because you don't want to be the guy that ends up longing when it's going brrrr, because if it's doing that, most likely it's going to be a swing fail. You just need to make sure you don't get trapped. I think from like a probability standpoint, you could argue that it already turned golden pocket into support. So on the smaller time frame, this is what it looks like. So you would be able to say that it held, and now we're breaking. And sooner or later, that's going to get cleaned, and maybe that's going to get cleaned like that eventually. If you are bullish, you certainly don't want to break that in any sort of dramatic fashion because you're just going to start a cascade of stop losses. And that's the whole, stairs up, elevators down meme. All right. You know that all of these longs, they have stop losses right here, 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 right here. But as long as you don't break that and you just continue, you go, the trend is your friend until it ends. So, yeah, you would probably lean towards that. And so, if you want to short, maybe you have to be patient for that. If you want a long, maybe you have to be patient for this. A lot of times also, remember, like think about overnight price action. A lot of times when RTH comes back, it'll clean or retrace or it's going to do something. So this is your RTH gap. It's at 97585 and it is at 97915. So right now, generally speaking, you're a tiny bit above. So if this momentum continues, this is where like the CME gap is roughly, just like in this zone. Okay, or not CME gap. This is the CME settlement, like right around here. So anything above really this blue line is going to create a bullish gap. If this continues to go and then CME opens right here, this will be the gap. And then you might have the dip, the tip. And then hopefully like you have VWAP or something and you can use it as invalidation if you want to look for a long. If you're somebody that is a little bit more of a settlement player, you know that I just said settlement is right here. So depending on where value ends up being, you might be able to have a bullish, settlement retest long. And that would kind of be what we're talking about in regards to structure change. So I gotta order a couple things. I feel like it's pretty straightforward today too. Above settlement, bullish. Below bearish. And coincidentally, that lines up with the golden pocket, which is kind of what we were talking about last night. That naked point of control is still untapped. It would have been nicer if we just swinged and cleaned all that, right? Okay. All right. So we'll keep an eye on range and we'll see if that untapped TPO gets tapped. If bullish settlement should hold. Yes. -88. There we go. Pretty chill day today, Lions. Let's keep it simple. Let's get nasty on them, chat. Wednesday night, Kimba After Dark. How many of you guys were there last night? Let's keep it simple today, chat. Above, settlement, Bellagio. Below, you know what it is. Let's go, come on. Pixel, juice, exclamation YouTube. Pixel perfect. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? All right, we got the first 30-minute candle today. You know what it is. There's a couple of people that might be looking to long this. Well, your open is at 98810. So in 15 minutes, if it dips the tip and then is able to close, you guys already know what it is. We got settlement, untapped TPO, and VWAP down there. And then the thing that we talked about yesterday was the bullish retest. Yes? So everything lines up. Structure, did it make a higher high? It would have been nice to just clean that whole thing. Not maybe that high, but like that. Yeah, so just a continuation off of last night, ladies and gentlemen. You guys Gucci? I hope with every day, every price action, you guys are starting to understand the sort of abstract stuff that we talk about. Things like, it really doesn't matter if you're bullish or bearish. We're all lions, right? Like, some people are either still short or they're in a new short, right? Some of y'all are front running the 23 minutes on the 30-minute candle close. And you're going to front run, value area low getting tapped or getting above VWAP. And some of y'all might be in a long already. I can't really, some of y'all might already be in a long from last night and you're freaking out because you think you have pixel perfect bottom. You know what I'm saying? But you're like, what the fuck? Some people had pixel perfect short. What the fuck? Hey, everybody gonna get got. Everybody gonna get got. And you might not be promised, you might not be guaranteed any fucking profit on any trade, but you know what you are guaranteed? An opportunity to prove it to yourself. You know what the fuck you're doing. Are you doing the right thing? Are you managing risk? Are you thinking about worst case scenario? Are you prepared? Are you making sure that you don't get got? So you gotta love it. You gotta love it. But I say this every day. You guys know, oh geez, what am I gonna say? I can't predict the future. But Lions, I think we do a damn good job of identifying levels. What do you think? What you think about this thing, man? What you think about this thing? Okay, yeah. And I hope you guys are starting to see like the patterns. I'm not really doing anything that fucking crazy. And if you haven't really figured it out yet, watch. There's gonna be TV, TVA, and T value area low, right? Just like this. And there's really only like a couple of scenarios. There's the scenario where it's outside, right? So it's outside like that. There's the scenario where it's inside, but it's close to it. And then there's the scenario where it's like, just kind of in the middle, right? And each one, depending on if the VWAP is above or below, has a bearish retest or a bullish retest scenario. You feel me? Findus Lasagnas is asking, are you guys longing? Not yet. I haven't even hit TPs for the shorts yet. No, what I'm trying to wait for, I'm okay with missing longs or shorts or trade setups that, in my opinion, are not the greatest setups. And you really have to detach yourself from this idea that there is a right trade and a wrong trade. You're gonna start to realize that you might have been right. You were in a long, but you were way over leveraged, and you were in a long from a bad low, and that just swept liquidity, and then it went right. Like, it could just be a swing fail, right? So it's what I would prefer is that while it is below settlement and value area low, I rather wait for the 94 long. If it does something like a failed auction, or it turns VWAP into support, or it can, break outside of, there it is. Or if it can break outside of value area high. I mean, all of these, like a bullish retest of VWAP, bullish retest of value area low, bullish retest of this VWAP, bullish retest of value area high. All of those, I think, in my opinion, are valid longs because you're probably aiming for 103. So for me, maybe it is a long here. I mean, we've had these levels for quite some time. So if it does swing fail, we were already talking about a swing fail like this when Sato's lick was right here. Yeah, so at least, change a little bit of structure for me from open interest in CVD. Like, I don't know. This makes me feel like they have to get stopped out first, but that's just me. if it's really going to be a good long. Usually you don't want longs on Bybit. So lots of, that's not the greatest low either. So lots, I'm going to give it time. I'm always down to sacrifice. So no, to answer your question, I'm sure there are people already in longs. I'm sure there are some people already in longs, especially if you were already really bullish. That 96.1, you have faith in that 96.1. There's a reason why we made that bitch golden. That's the golden level. So if you were bullish and you were somebody that, longed the 96.1 the first time, longed that bitch the second time, I mean, there would be nothing more bullish than swing fail and then cleaning all of those weak longers and then coming right back in and then going for it, right? So there could be people that are in from 96.1 long. Their stop loss their stop loss would be the 95.789 or whatever that low would be, and then stop loss and profit, I would assume pretty soon here because you have your 5-minute structure change. So as soon as it breaks this, people I'm sure are going to be moving their stop loss up. And then even from like this standpoint, you want like this, So if you go from swing, guess that thang. So Pixel Fuck 886 went through 7.5, but the closes Pixel Perfect Golden Poquito. So none of this should really be surprising. Alrighty. If you wanted a long, you definitely had opportunities to do it. It's still not too late to do it. At least you know what the invalidation is. But it's not about knowing where it would be a bad idea to continue to long. It's really more about, do you actually have a reason to? So give me this 15 minutes extra for the 30-minute candle close, and then at least we know what the invalidation is. Maybe a bullish retest of the point of control that was previous resistance, something like that, with an invalidation right there, lower low, to front run VWAP and settlement getting turned into support. Yeah, but let's be patient. Let's be patient. Pixel, it's what?
Hey, Lois, it's pixel fucking.
It's pixel fucking. Okay.
Pixel fucking it is. Yes.
But I'm still gonna take longs though. I don't know how long you've been following me, Beery, but do you know how long I've been talking about the first 2 weeks of February I think are gonna be bearish? So higher time frame, I'm not like overly aggressive when it comes to trying to long. We've all been waiting for the RTH gap, right? We're all waiting for that RTH gap. If it's structurally bullish, meaning it's a swing fail, like it loses it and it comes back right in, but even better is if it goes out of the full gap, right? That's bullish. And I will definitely long that big. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I think 85 is a little bit more realistic, and I think, and remember, I might even long 85, and we might have a $10,000 move up, but I think the real nice long is around 77. 78. Okay, your question was, did you close? Are we long again? No, I mean, we might be. Yeah, I'm just waiting for a level. There were a couple of opportunities. I mean, every day what we're doing is we're finding inflection points, and we're saying above this, bullish, below this, bearish. And that's the day-to-day scalp long or scalp short, okay? Any of those can turn into swings and longer positions. But yeah, my higher time frame idea is that we are a little bit more bearish, and for me, like a really, really big long or a juicy ass long would be somewhere, from 77 or 78 or 75 or 72. I think it starts with a 7. You might see me in a long from 84, 85, and we might be juicing, but just understand that I would still only think of it on the higher time frame for a bearish retest. All right. In terms of, you asked about, has altcoin season started yet? I was very, very explicit about what I would need to hear from both the Fed and the type of data that I would need to see. So whether it's quantitative easing or a little bit more of a bullish narrative, right? So you can see that even geopolitical stuff like tariffs can have a little bit of an impact on the economy, right? I'm going to just take it level by level. I can't really, see what CPI is going to, CPI is Wednesday, right? And you know that I don't like to have the low or the high put in on a Friday. So if I'm looking at this, man, how great would it be, Beery, if we dump tomorrow as well, right? And then we dump all the way to like 85 or some shit, right? We hit 85 on Tuesday, or maybe we hit 87 on Tuesday. Wednesday, CPI initial move is a debate. We scam dump and then clean like a shitty low. And then from 84, it's a long. We might be juicing the fuck up. It might have a $7, $8, $9, $10,000 pump, but I would actually think that it's a bearish retest. So I would probably TP a good chunk where I thought was appropriate, and I would still have the short open. Okay, BRE. So something like that. And then how funny would it be, if the CPI gets you up to, 92 or 93 on the initial move is debate. PPI and the data following after get you nuking from the, 92, 95 to 77. Yeah, and then when Bitcoin hits 77 or 82, wherever the fuck the low is, right? Remember, I don't really care so much about a random level. It's about the price action. It's where we can see people getting stopped out, where all the liquidity got grabbed, where people actually started longing and buying pressure came in, et cetera, et cetera. So wherever it is, it would be dope to have a long, and to circle back to what you were asking, have longs and altcoins and basically be able to front run FOMC on March. Because if we don't get a bullish narrative on FOMC March, I don't think we have altcoin season. You're running out of time. So the next play would be to use CPI, PPI, GDP, PCE, try to get into positions and finesse our way into being in longs and altcoin longs before FOMC March. Bullish narrative, altcoin season, boom. And then maybe on a couple of altcoins, we don't get stopped out. We hit our home run, and it's a juicy year. Something like that. But, that's because you put a gun to my head and you said, tell me. But nobody should be really doing shit like that. You know what I mean? Fuck, I don't even know if we're gonna go to RTH gap, and if it's gonna act bullishly or bearishly. But I'm a pretty patient motherfucker if you know me. So we'll see what the RTH gap brings, right? And don't be mad at me if it does this and I'm in a long, okay? I broke it down very specifically. The 7.5 is pixel fucking the RTH gap, okay? That's what you want to clean. That's your naked point of control. So you're looking for something like this, right? Looks like this. See this? It's going to look like that right here. So you're looking for structure change, okay? I will try my very hardest, I think, with order flow, and if I'm here and if it's not 3 o'clock in the morning, if it does this, I'm going to be pretty damn good at getting that pixel perfect 7.5 entry, okay? If it's too quick or the data doesn't look good, then the RTH gap zone is what I'm allowing myself to chase all the way. So if for some reason, best case, I have a pixel perfect 7.5 long entry. Worst case, I have a market smash at the top boundary of RTH gap. Okay, but if it doesn't dip and then get going relatively quickly, then I think that's bearish. I think that's more likely to happen. I think 90 gets lost. I think that low gets breached, and I'll see you at 85 type of shit. Okay, So, something like that, man. I really wanted to see the reaction down here with you guys live last night. I desperately wanted to see it during RTH with you guys today. You know, can't predict when it wants to do it. Sometimes it's just not ready. It doesn't have enough liquidity. It doesn't have volume. It doesn't have people trapped, whatever it may be. So most likely it's going to, start nuking 3 seconds after I end the stream. You guys already know what it is. Haley M says, what if they skip in March? I told you we're running out of time. I don't think you're going to have altcoin season. Biuri says, I've been here over 1 year. I know you a little. I see you, Biuri. Yeah, so that's basically where I'm at, okay? Yeah, so higher time frame, I'm a little bit more bearish, right? I'm going to be patient with it, and I really would like to get a long or spot buy Bitcoin with a 7. A price that starts with a 7. All right. We lost settlement. We're below value area low. I mean, even the stuff that I talked about in the morning where I said, watch how the point of control moves. I don't know if you remember, but the point of control was actually here. Now the point of control is now every day the point of control is moving. I don't know if you guys are noticing this, which is why I said this in the morning. So now the point of control, it was up here and it was rejecting off of point of control. How many of you guys remember that? Now there has been enough price action and value built below value area low where the point of control is now below value. So, in terms of trend, in terms of time spent below, when I say shit like, does it build value below? Like, this is how you tell. So we're just going to have to wait until tomorrow, see how RTH gap opens. In between then, you guys are going to have to watch the levels bing bong ding dong. If it's a bad high or a bad low, chances are overnight shit is going to get swept. And then try to zoom out a little bit and think about CPI on Wednesday. You know that I like to be in positions before, right? And so if I'm wrong about CPI on Wednesday, then worst case, I get stopped out for tiny profit. So, all right. Let's get it. Juice is juice. Any other questions, you guys? Vanilla says, yes, the other BTC charts are not looking good. Yes, but also not looking good is kind of what we want, if you remember. I'm only going to long if all of the longers and bullish sentiment gives up, right, Vanilla? When I say Bitcoin could go to 77 or when I say I think everyone and their grandma are going to get nuked trying to long 82, that's because it's not going to pump until all of retail gets stopped out. It's not going to dump until all of retail gets stopped out. It's always been like that, right? So don't go too much with they don't look good. Yeah, of course they don't look good. You're going to have to, if you really want to juice, the fact of the matter is you're going to have to long when it doesn't look good, and you're going to have to sell when it looks amazingly good. That's the name of the game, right? So I'm already committed to understanding that when I should be longing and when I am going to be attempting to long, it's not going to look that great, So the data is going to have to tell me that it's, like that's why CVD divergences are nice, because you can tell if it's getting absorbed or if one side is getting exhausted, right? So a lot of people might be like, oh shit, this looks bearish, but lo and behold, hidden bull div. Oh fuck, or oh my God, this looks, hella bullish. Lo and behold, hidden bear div. Good luck. Yeah, so we'll see. But I think you already need to make up your mind that, look, man, if you really want to juice in this game, you're gonna have to long when everybody else is shorting. You're going to have to long when it looks like ass. You're going to have to short when it looks really good. Right? So, yeah. I think you're right, but just understand that I want it to look as shitty as possible, and that's what I'm going to long myself. So, could we please, if you have time, we'll do an altcoin spot nerd out before March 18th, maybe on a weekend. Sure, Fibception. Yeah, we've got the holiest holiday in America this weekend. Do you know what it is? We have the most. It's more sacred than Christmas in America. So we've got a very, very big holiday coming up. It's called Super Bowl. Yeah, it's American Football Championships. All right. And so I'm gonna be flying out tomorrow. I think like I said, it all depends on baby girl. So we already have hotels for tomorrow night, but she's doing like work stuff and she's in Cali still. So it depends on if she wants to leave tomorrow. But yeah, absolutely, brother. Yeah, and you're caught up on altcoin season, altcoin nerd out 1, 2, and 3, right? So in essence, the higher time frame stuff, when we're talking about altcoin season and really looking for additional liquidity to flow in, we need free money, cheap money to start from the top and trickle all the way down to retail, right? Okay, awesome. So yeah, there's a little bit of a front running from a fundamental perspective, but yeah, let's get it. We'll definitely nerd out before then. Sounds good, Fibception. How about the weekend after the Super Bowl? I have a lot of moving and construction stuff going on this month. March is really where it's at. Because I'm going to have internet access at my new place. And I don't really plan on living there, but I'm going to have another sick ass. I'm going to get like another 57-inch ultra wide, so I might go dual. Kind of like how I have the dual 49 inches. I'm going to go with like, 3 50-inch flat screen TVs, 8K, and use the 8K TVs as monitors. Yeah, but so March is when a lot of shit should become easier. Yeah, I have my fiber line going active March 6th or March 7th, I think. So March 7th, March 8th, it might be a laptop stream, but I'll be at my new crib. I'll still have this one. I'll be going back and forth, but I'm excited to be setting up another bat cave. Fibception says, yes, absolutely, whenever you can, brother. No doubt. Fibception, basically, like what I'm doing is I'm just trying to find levels that I like. So I'm not going to get too caught off guard. I think everybody can see these crazy wicks, right? Like all of these wicks. Some of them are going to make a lower low. Some of them are going to be able to make a higher low. So that's kind of the first sort of question. Like Trump, this is going to all get swept. This shit, so this is not going to hold, right? But Tao, I think, might have a chance to hold. Sol might have a chance to hold. Is it going to be able to hold this? This is kind of like a really big ass trident almost. This zone right here. So like that being your stop loss, trying to, maybe long this. I'm not going to do it. I think down here is a little bit better. Yes, I do think Sol could go to 150. I mean, if Bitcoin's going to go to 77, what the fuck do you think Sol's going to do? What do you think ETH is going to do? Ondo might hold. Yeah, I was looking at Ondo too. There's a couple, right? Especially the AI ones, coincidentally, right? Do you guys want to go over if it dumps and RTH open? Well, I'm going to be here before RTH, but if we have RTH open in the gap, that's going to be bearish. So bulls would have to immediately dip the tip, and then get the fuck out of there. So it could be like an easy long because of the fact that it is so bearish. You would know right away when the bearishness was lost. So opening RTH inside of gap would be bearish. This would, if we open the markets tomorrow, and it will really make a difference if we are here above this or if we're actually lower. That's really bearish. Really bearish immediately. So it's going to be something like, you know, this. It's got to dip and then it's going to nuke type of shit. It would have to really like close and then go. So if it does that, then that's an easy long, probably right there. Yeah. And then probably like if it is going to be a long, it'll be a bullish settlement retest because that's where it closed. So you could think about longing a bullish settlement retest or just the RTH gap getting out. But that's if it opens like this. And I will show up pre-market early enough. Maybe it pumps and then you open like this and you have a gap to the upside. So if it pumps and it's up here, it opens, you're going to have a gap like this. So either way, you guys know what it is. So let's have some fun with the gap tomorrow. And then watch out for the untapped naked point of controls right there and right there. And they both have like swing eligible liquidity. You know, that's ugly. That's ugly. I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow. Let's get it, Lions! Young Soon, he reaving! Young Soon, he raving. Activate the manipulation. Love you guys. See you tomorrow. Peace, everybody.